What's up, family, and welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Wellness Podcast. In fact, this is the season 6 premiere of the show. Y'all, we are video. So, to all of my new YouTube family, hey, y'all, I am so glad to be here with you on video. And as always, to my ride or dies who have been listening to the show and continuing to pull up during the hiatus, hey y'all, I am so glad to be back with you. It has been an amazing summer. There's been so many things that have happened throughout the course of the summer that has changed me and the show for the better. I am so excited to be here. For those of you who are watching me on YouTube, I hope you guys like my t-shirt. My t-shirt is a note to self shirt. It's a nod to the book that I wrote last year. So I love this shirt. At any rate, again, I'm so glad to be here with you guys. But you guys know how we do. This is going to be almost a rundown episode, but it's also going to be a very powerful episode because I'm going to be talking about something that has sat with me for quite some time, and it was not until the summer hiatus of this show where I got the chance to really get still and really learn some things about myself and accept some things about myself. But before we begin any episode, y'all know how we do over here. We never begin any episode of this show without a prayer, without a moment of gratitude. I am so grateful to be here with you. I am so grateful for all that I learned, all the quiet times, all the struggles, all the ups and downs that occurred in the quiet season during last season. But I'm here, still standing with you. And I am so excited to be here and so very grateful. We're going to keep it short because if I don't, y'all, I will go on a soapbox to talk about all the amazing things that have happened for us and how much gratitude I have. Okay, y'all. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about something that I've been sitting with. It's definitely changed my life. So all summer, I felt like I was juggling 3 different versions of myself. And honestly, it started to feel like I was being fake, even though I knew I wasn't. So, for those of you who follow me on TikTok, or if you found me through TikTok, you know the vibe that I have there. I am giving educator, disruptor energy. Most times, my braids, and I'm calling out wellness BS and giving the tea on Black history and all the things that are deeply impacting the Black community. And then if you follow me over on IG, that's where you're going to catch me in my bob and barbell era. Like you're going to see my cute gym fits, my cute outside fits. You're going to see strong lifts, meal preps, clean aesthetics, because that's where it all began, to be honest. The fitness piece of me is where all of this was born from. But here on the pod, I show up natural, vulnerable, and heart first. But the crazy part is that all of it is true. All of it is me. What I learned about myself is that I am what is called a multidimensional person. I had once had someone tell me that I was like an onion and that there were layers to me. I heard it, but I took it with a grain of salt until I began to have this almost internal battle. And as I began to sit with all of this, I realized that it was okay for me to just be me, that this was just who I am and who I have always been. So I had to remind myself. And now I want to remind you, if you too are a multidimensional person, that we're allowed to have layers. We're allowed to have many things, be good at many things, be multidimensional. And we don't owe anyone an apology for that. Now, navigating this complexity means showing up for ourselves in ways that honor every layer of who we are. And you might be asking yourself, okay, how do I do that without burning out or shrinking to fit someone else's expectations or narrative of me? So, I'm going to give you a few practical wellness tips and a couple of mindset shifts that have helped me, and I hope they help you too. Number one, you want to learn to set radical boundaries. Saying no isn't selfish. I talk about that a lot on the show, and I'm going to continue talking about it on the show. It's not selfish, it's survival. Protect your energy by being very clear about what you will and won't accept, what you do and don't have the capacity for. Because what you may have a capacity for in this particular layer, you may not have that same capacity in that layer, especially when you are juggling all these many layers. Boundaries are the foundation of honoring your multidimensional life. But also remember, those same boundaries don't just apply to other people, they apply to you as well when it comes to how you treat yourself and the boundaries that you press yourself past. Because oftentimes we may tell other people no, but we may still on the low press ourselves, even when we know we are past capacity. And that is not honoring our multidimensional selves. Number two, prioritize rest and reset. Listen, if you guys have followed the show on Instagram all summer long, my theme was probably rest because when I look back to see how much content I posted about resting, I posted it about taking a pause, I posted about slowing down. It is a lot. It's a lot. I want to say that more than 80% of the content throughout the summer was about rest and reset. Probably because that was the season that I was in. Your mind, your body, and your spirit all need downtime. I needed that so desperately and didn't realize it until I was in it. So schedule rest like it's a meeting with your most important client. But your most important client should be you. This might mean unplugging, meditation, or even a completely tech free day. In fact, the week before this episode dropped, I did have to take a week where I unplugged completely because even though I had taken a rest, preparing for the show to return and all the many things that came along with it, I needed a rest. I needed a minute. Between my kids going back to school, I have a senior. He's going to be going into play Division One football next year, and so there are so many things that come with that. Because even though he's a commit, there's still so much going on in addition to with the recruitment process. It's not over yet. Then I have a boxer that's fighting in two national tournaments. My daughter is preparing to enter her journey of college. And then I have the baby boy. There are so many things taking place that I really needed to reset. And multidimensional folks, trust me when I tell you, we need that reset more often than we like to acknowledge. And finally, number three, celebrate all of your identities. So whether you are rocking bobs, braids, curls, waves, whatever, juggling careers, motherhoods, creative passions, own it all. Your multidimensionality is your superpower, not a liability. For many years, I treated mine like it was a liability because I kept trying to do what other people were doing to me. I was trying to stuff myself inside of this little compartment that no matter how much I tried to fit into, it was obvious that I was too big to fit in there. So I would always outshine in every single environment that I was in, whatever role I was supposed to be playing. And it made others uncomfortable, but it also made me uncomfortable then because before I accepted who I am, It made me very uncomfortable because I didn't want to make other people uncomfortable. I am a former people pleaser, y'all. So if you are a former people pleaser, it's going to be even more difficult to accept your multidimensionality. But it is not impossible. And when you do finally embrace that it is all you, watching things change. I'm going to be real with you now. Compartmentalizing all of these sides of me has been absolutely exhausting. Learning how to do that, it's been exhausting. At times, it felt like every version of me was fighting for center stage. Everybody wanted the mic at the same time. It made me feel scattered, overwhelmed, unorganized. And listen, I need my chaos to be organized, not all over the place. I often felt like I had to shrink or to pick one lane and stay in it. And again, it stifled my growth in so many ways. But growth, it wouldn't let me stay there. And here we are. And one of the reasons that I started unpacking this was my children. Two of them are very layered, like their mama. And I saw them struggling and feeling like they had to pick a side of themselves just to be accepted. And so I decided that it was time for me to show them that they weren't broken, just layered. And it took a lot of courage to step forward and say, hey, this, your mom is the same way. It was a relief to them because they began to grow and flourish that much more when they realized, hey, this is a thing and there's nothing wrong with me. Now, if you're feeling this way too, family, you're not alone. If you have multiple sides to you, don't spend years fighting yourself like I did. That was exhausting. I wasted time, but in some ways, I guess I didn't. I guess I needed those lessons so that I could learn and grow. But you don't have to choose just one version of you to be worthy. Now, let's keep it real. My hairstyle sometimes tells you the version of me that's going to be pulling up. All right. Now, it's not always the case because my hairstyle shows up everywhere. But sometimes it can be a barometer of who you might encounter initially. So, like when I have my curls in, she's the nurturer, that soft, flowy side of me, that chill mama energy. When I have my silk press bob in, listen, I'm making boss moves. I am powerful, I'm polished, and I am not here for the foolishness. And then my braids, she is definitely my disruptor. And that personality lives within me no matter what. She is here to shake the table and deliver a word with some receipts. So pay attention when them braids are braided real tight though, y'all. Like when they tight, yeah, I'm coming through with something. Again, each of these versions show up across all my platforms. They're going to show up here on the show. They show up in my daily life. But no matter what, the message always stays the same. You don't have to water down one part of you to be accepted into another space. That's unacceptable. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay? We're not. Stop trying to simplify yourself for the comfort of others. Complexity is a strength. Being multidimensional means that you have a richness of experience and perspective that no one else can replicate. When you own that, you become unstoppable. Because these braids, bobs, and curls, they all are crowning the same queen. And I've learned that I don't have to shrink one to wear the other. And neither do you, family. Now, if you want a little help learning to honor all of your layers too, my new blog series is over on Substack. Family, we are on Substack now. And there you are going to get content that you're probably not going to get nowhere else because that is the only place where I share my raw thoughts, my raw feelings, and I write from the heart. So I enjoy it so much. It's a release. I really enjoy it. And so I created this series it all parts of the series is out. It's called Stretch Marks of Growth. And it documents me as I went through the different phases of accepting my multidimensionality. And it's all about learning how to stop compartmentalizing those pieces of me and to start integrating them together and letting them coexist and get along. I'm sharing how I learned to let my full self speak across every space that I show up in, and how you can too. And there is also the latest episode where I am talking about this very topic again, where I give you more wellness tips and a few more mindset shifts over there about how to embrace that piece of you. Okay? All right, family. Remember, your layers aren't too much, they are the masterpiece. So until next week, family, stay layered. Bye.